Good evening, class, and welcome to your flipped lesson plan. Before I begin, it is encouraged that you sit yourself in an upright position in a quiet environment. Please take notes for tomorrow's in-class meeting. Also, you are encouraged to replay scenes in this video for a better understanding. Now let me begin. Tonight, you will learn American history, specifically the American Revolution. During this revolution, there were many battles fought between the British Empire and the American colonists. The battle that you will learn about is the battle at Lexington and Concord. Within this video, my partner and I will be role-playing characters who will give their points of view during the battle at Lexington and Concord. In this video, I will play as a British soldier while my partner will play as one of the American soldiers. What first happened was that the American colonists were out of control. They had raided military supply stores and used their weapons against us. We then received orders to destroy the munitions supply in the town of Concord. We were also ordered to kill any open rebellion that we came across. We then began to gather the troops together for the march.
On April 14, 1775, we heard that a large British force was preparing to destroy our munitions supply at Lexington and Concord. We sent two riders out, Paul Revere and William Does, to warn the people that the British were coming. The riders were also ordered to gather the militia.
I, along with 700 of my British soldiers, marched from Boston to Lexington. There, we were met by a small militia force. Their captain of the force was named John Parker. He lined his group of 70 men in front of our advance guard in an attempt to stop us. However, they were taken down. The advanced guard fired into their line and we saw 8 go down. The rest then retreated. Our superior major, Pitcairn, yelled out to them, "Disperse! Run, you damned rebels!" We then destroyed what was left of the American munitions supply and began our march back to Boston. Little did we know what danger lay ahead of us.
When we heard of the incident that happened in Lexington, we were all angered. Because of that incident, we decided to make a larger force and gather on the Concord North Bridge. Once we saw a British platoon, we fired upon them, killing 14 men. The British then started marching down the road, heading back to Boston. We didn't want them to leave that easily, so hundreds of us lined the road and fired against the many British soldiers as they ran for their lives. The numerous trees that lined the road were perfect cover for us. We could see the British soldiers, but they couldn't spot us in the dense brush. The number of casualties we inflicted upon them was far higher than our own.
It was such a horrifying experience. Everywhere I turned I could hear militia shouting and firing at us. I remember we used to disrespect the colonial militia because we believed that their lack of military training rendered them useless soldiers, but the men who were shooting at me today were anything but. I had never seen such deadly accuracy with a musket till that terrible march back to Boston.
We finally stopped firing at the road because there were no more British soldiers in sight, besides the ones that lay dead on the ground. We were so proud of our success that we gave a loud victory yell and celebrated the fact that we stood our ground and chased the regular British army back into the safety of Boston. A couple of days after the battle, many more fights broke out throughout the countryside. Later, on June 15th, Congress elected George Washington as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. 2 days later, on June 17th, the first major battle of the war began between the British and American forces. Long live America.
My dear students, you have just completed your first flipped lesson plan. Tomorrow, please be ready for a debate in class. You are allowed to bring your small handouts that were given to you earlier in class, as well as the notes that you took from this video. They will be good resources for the class debate.
Here is a little fun fact. We were able to move most of the ammunition out of Concord before the British Army was able to get to it.
Another fun fact is that we captured and detained Paul Revere before he could complete his route. Sadly, we weren't able to capture William Dawes, who went on to warn everyone that we were coming.